All right, late last night, Apogee dropped Symphony Desktop Update 1.19. So this is new firmware for the Symphony Desktop hardware unit and a new Apogee Control 2 software for your Mac or PC. But let's do a quick dive into the Symphony Desktop updates. So here we have our standard screen. It looks pretty much the same. Input 1, if we scroll over, again, the same as it was before. We do have this new icon here, this new little dial icon. We tap that, and now we've got this great little graphical user interface for the preamp that I've selected, in this case the AP66. We tap that little icon again. We go back to that standard interface. We've got all of the standard features that we had before, plus we now have a print FX rack and a monitor FX rack. You can enable and disable these independently. But if you tap on preamp, print FX, or monitor FX, it takes you to what I'm calling the DSP screen. And here across the top, we again see preamp, print FX, monitor FX. And depending on which of these is selected, the problem is it doesn't want to keep you in that screen. You want you pick, and then it jumps back, which I think will make sense when you're using it, but makes it a little harder to show you. So we can select our preamp. We can also go to print FX. We can add multiple plugins here. I mean, right now, the only one that's available is the channel strip, but we can actually add multiple instances of that now, which is kind of cool. You notice the more instances we add, our DSP level down here goes up. We can also do A/B comparisons and monitor our rack levels. If we have some settings that we like in the print FX, but we get a little nervous about committing to those, we can copy to the monitor FX with this button up here. Kind of has trouble with the reach around. All right. We will cancel because I don't really have the settings. Monitor FX. So here we see we've got all of the necessary tools to implement the workflows that Apogee talks about in the Symphony Desktop User's Manual. Now, on the Apogee Control application, we now have all of these same settings. There really is a parity between the hardware and the software, which is great. You've got your standard buttons, your standard gain level, your preamp you can now set. And this is cool. Again, we have that same sort of DSP screen where the preamp setting, I can switch rapidly between the three, and I've got these honestly even better looking interfaces on the actual computer. We can switch to print FX, and again, this is exactly what is on the Symphony Desktop. If we go back over to our Symphony Desktop, and we open up the print FX screen again, and we're looking at that first instance of the channel strip. If I go here, I'm on the desktop hardware, and I start adjusting that high-pass filter, you notice it's changing it on the desktop. And likewise, I can change it on my computer. It's changing it on the hardware itself. So you can pick how you want to work, and it will adjust to you. So really, the only things that I see are missing are the ability to sort of save and recall our settings and having access to the full Rack FX plugins. But this is a big, big update. Very exciting. I think it unlocks a lot of the flexibility and potential of the Symphony Desktop. If you were on the fence before, I think for many of you, this will be what's needed to kind of push you over the edge. I mean, this is really the hardware and software as it was promised. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you have any questions? Are you excited about this update? Does this change your opinion or perspective on the Symphony Desktop? Look forward to hearing from you. Thanks again for your time.